Okay, let's go on the record. This is cause number 2021 CR 3167, the state of Texas versus Latrice Renee Sweet. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Samuel Laws for the state, Your Honor.
James Rodriguez for the defendant.
Ms. Sweet is appearing by video conference. Go ahead and tell me your full name.
Latrice Renee Sweet.
On the screen, I'm showing you the true bill of indictment that was filed in this case that alleges the offense of injury to a child causing bodily injury intentionally or knowingly. Is there a motion by the state?
Yes, Your Honor. The state moves to proceed on assault, bodily injury, family or household, a Class A misdemeanor.
No objection.
Ms. Sweet, the offense of assault causing bodily injury, family or household is a Class A misdemeanor. It is punishable by confinement in the Bexar County Jail for up to 12 months. It also carries a possible fine of up to $4,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies to this charge that we're proceeding on?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine all the witnesses against you. You also have the right to remain silent. All of those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
When you sign the document that I have on the screen, the court admonishments, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your electronic signature here that I'm showing you?
Yes.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
If you are not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Ms. Sweet,
Yes,
are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against her?
Yes, she does.
Has she been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
In your opinion, is she mentally competent to waive her rights and enter into a plea?
I believe she is.
I will accept the waiver of rights and make it part of the record. Ms. Sweet, on the screen, I have the terms of your plea bargain agreement. I'm going to go over it with you. And then I want you to tell me if that's your understanding of the agreement you made this morning. It's a recommendation for deferred adjudication for a period of 2 years. There's a $1,000 fine that is fully probated. The affirmative finding of family violence will be held in abeyance. The cognitive behavioral skills course is something that you'll have to take. You'll take a parenting course, an APC course, that's an anger management course. No harmful or injurious contact with Alina Washington. We're going to do a TAP evaluation and 80 hours of community service. Is that your understanding of the agreement you made today? Ms. Sweet?
Yes, I believe it was supposed to be a 6 months probation.
It's 2 years deferred.
Okay.
Well, we did want to talk to the court about that. I believe Ms. Sweet is capable and she will complete it within 6 months if the court would entertain a 6 months deferred. She's already completed her anger management and 2 different parenting courses without the court ordering her to do so. So she's already completed programs that she needs to do.
Now, whenever she's finished with all of her conditions, she can file for early termination. I then request a report from the probation department to see how everything has gone, and I make a decision at that point.
Okay.
There was only one other thing I wanted to approach the court about, and that's the 80 hours of community service. Would ask the court to probate those just due to Ms. Sweet's work schedule. Currently, she's working about 72 hours a week. She's working 6 12-hour days every week. Just the additional 80 hours community service would be a huge burden on her, and just would ask the court to probate any part of those that you see fit.
Where do you work?
Centene for Superior Health Plan. I am a referral specialist, so I do the inpatient hospitalization clinicals. I do it for Medicare, Medicaid, and better.
Can you make a donation to the food bank for $100?
Yes, ma'am, I can definitely do that.
Okay, let's, in lieu of the 80 hours of community service, I will allow you to make a $100 donation to the food bank, and that'll satisfy that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Your Honor.
Okay, otherwise, is that your agreement, Ms. Sweet?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Rodriguez, that's your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Lyles, that's your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sweet, what is the plea to the charge of assault causing bodily injury, family, or household? That's a Class A misdemeanor. Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest because you've talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe it's in your best interest to do so?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone force you to enter a plea today
No, ma'am.
or offer you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 along with attachments.
No objections.
State's 1 is admitted. Mr. Rodriguez, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914 in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement and make it part of the record. And give me just a few minutes to read the exhibit, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harkowitz, what's your announcement on Swaney Murphy?
Yes, Judge. I've been conferring with Travis and then talking to my client. He's got 2 indicted burglary of a building cases. Also, there appears to be 2 unindicted felony cases plus a uncharged evading case. I had some information on one of the charges. Travis provided me some additional information for the other charge. My client's asking if he could have at least a couple of weeks for me to go over that information because there's some issues regarding those uncharged. He wants me to look into to see about, possible plea on these cases.
Okay. How September 2nd, Mr. Harkowitz?
That should be fine, Judge, and we should hopefully have these issues addressed. Let me double check by pulling up. Yeah, no, that's a great day.
Okay, thank you, sir. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Dwiggins, we're going to recall your client at 1:30. She's in custody. Can you come on at 1:30? You're muted, but I can see that you're saying yes.
I forgot how to use the computer. Yes, absolutely. I'll be here at
Okay.
1:30.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I still haven't seen Eduardo Jimenez, so please tell him to come to the court room, Ashley. All right, give me just a minute to review Ms. Sweet's exhibits and I'll be right on.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodriguez, do you know what the status of any CPS involvement is? David Rodriguez? You're muted.
Sorry. Judge, that CPS case is going to be dropped.
It's already been dropped.
It has already been dropped. I'm sorry.
Yes. It was dropped in April.
And what did you have to do as part of that CPS plan?
They had already taken the anger management class I already did. They took in, I did the triple P parenting class and I did another parenting class online. So they accepted those. And she was just sending me worksheets. She did weekly visits here. But she said she never, she understood the situation. It was a one-time situation. It's not something here. She said my kids were always happy. And I was already starting to be able to visit with her. Like I think a month later, I was allowed to visit with Alina. So we were visiting each other weekly. We were already going to family therapy. We completed family therapy as well. Also, another thing that had made the case closed was Alina's father was murdered.
So, Judge, as part of the CPS case and getting on top of this case,
So
she completed.
So hang on, does that mean Alina is living with you again now?
Yes.
And what about your other children that were removed?
They weren't removed. They were never, my other kids were never removed. I was able to get them back the next day. I just had to have my aunt check in, or we had to do a video call once a day. But after a month, that was stopped.
So who is helping you with your children?
My dad, my aunt, my grandmother. But I mean, 90% of the time it's me, but I've done little things to be better.
But it doesn't change that you can still get overwhelmed. I mean,
I do therapy. I went to therapy. I went to therapy to help me be a better parent. And with the classes, I've learned different techniques that I can do. I think also communicating with my kids, like, hey, mom needs 5 minutes, and we understand that. We've all learned boundaries. Hey, if my son's having a bad day, if Alina's having a bad day, we're gonna give each other 5 minutes, and then we can talk about the issue and what we can do to fix it.
Okay. David, back on the record. Did you find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt? I will make no other findings at this time. I will grant the application for deferred adjudication for a period of 2 years. The $1,000 fine is probated. The affirmative finding in family violence is held in abeyance. You will have to take the cognitive skills course, parenting course, the APSE course, no harmful or injurious contact with Alina Washington or any child under the age of 18. We're going to do a TAP evaluation, 80 hours community service. And in lieu of the service, I will allow a $100 donation to the food bank to satisfy the community service hours. Ms. Sweet, this is a plea bargain case. I followed your plea bargain agreement. So what that means is you do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Oops. Okay, you're gonna go in a breakout room with probation and she's gonna go over your community service conditions, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Hasek? Anton? Sir, did you receive my paperwork, the paperwork on the ag robbery? I sent it to you about 5 minutes ago, but I haven't seen you sign it yet.
Yes.
Judge, I'm going to step away real quick. The documents have been sent to Mr. Hayek.
Ma'am,
And Your Honor, I sent them documents too for the ag robbery, Judge, but it doesn't look like he signed them yet. So I'm not sure if he is aware. I just want to know that he received them.
and Tom, can you hear me?
He signed the choking documents.
Okay, well, that's a good sign.
Judge, I think family violence is all done. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Do you want me back on for the 1:30 docket? Michelle said she might have to be handling Robert Roberts, I think.
She is. I'm going to do it simultaneously. So while you guys are conferring, I'm going to be handling the hearing.
Okay.
So yes, please, if you can help, that'd be great.
See you on 1:30.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Anton has been found. I've signed everything, I think. I don't know
Okay.
what's going on. I mean, y'all will just disappear and I can hear you talking.
Oh, it's probably your internet connection, Anton.
Yeah, it must be time for another 3-day weekend. All right, well, I'm gonna stay here with y'all until we do this.
Yeah, so I can tell some of it has been signed. What about your client though? Don't you need to go over it with your client?
If you want to put us in a breakout room.
You're still in the same spot. He's still in 6. So you just have to go back there.
Nectar, then.
So you just go back to the breakout room and you're already in number 6.
Yes, Judge, it does show he signed the robbery paperwork that Mr. Hajek did. So it should be with his client now.
Yes, what's the status of your case?
Yes, I'm gonna provide, I haven't had enough time to get around to this case today. I need to know this case.
We can, but you have to talk to your client. He's very upset.
I'm sorry.
He's very upset. Yep, get online and talk to him. We'll talk about a receipt.
All right, thanks.
Mr. Garibay, your attorney's gonna log on so he can talk to you, okay? Did Mr. Juarez sign everything already?
He said he did.
Clerks, can you check?
I don't have anything, Judge.
Can you call the jail, Jennifer, see if they can pull up all of the documents for Juarez? So he should have 3 different sets of documents.
He decided to stay on mute while he signed them, and I talked to him afterwards. I know he got a jail guard to help him.
Yeah, but we don't have it on our end, so he might have not gone all the way to the bottom.
No, maybe it's one of those internet convictions. Well, I can't tell them what to do if they won't listen.
I'm trying to look it up right now. I'm looking at my name.
All right. And Mr. Wars, at the bottom of each document is the blue thing that says sign it. And it makes the document go through.
All right, I think I did it right now. I just finished.
All right, we're gonna find out.
I just received the documents and I'm signing them right now.
You should have 2 3 packets.
Okay, I got in 1 so far.
Okay.
Mr. Juarez, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna go ahead and swear you in. Can you raise your right hand? Are you Jeffrey Juarez, the defendant in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you familiar with the exhibits and stipulations that were attached?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you solemnly swear it's true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
You're familiar with the jury waivers in both cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney has explained to you your constitutional rights and you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
It is your desire to enter this plea and waive your right to a jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can lower your hand. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge. This is Eduardo Jimenez for Mr. Garibay.
Yep. I'm gonna put you guys in room 3.
Okay.
I don't have,
Thank you.
I'm gonna take a plea, and when I'm done with that, Eduardo, I have to log off, but just
Okay.
try to visit with him in the next couple of minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I'm pulling up the paperwork on Juarez, and I'll be ready in just a minute. I have everything. Luis, you're gonna do both, please?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Correct. Correct, Your Honor.
Judge, I want to thank you for your time, and I understand that I'm going to see Mark this weekend, and we talked over things, and there's some information that I need to get to him this weekend, and I promised him that I would do that, as well as write the prosecutor about his case. So
Okay, I'm gonna reset you to
okay.
September 2nd.
Okay, September 2nd. Thank you, Judge, and
Okay,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
your time. Okay.
Everybody can go back. All right, ready, David? We're gonna take a lunch break after this. This is cause number 2021 CR 3143 and 2021 CR 5453, the state of Texas versus Jeffrey Adam Juarez. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Luis Echeverria for the state of Texas.
Anton Hyde for the defendant, Mr. Juarez.
Mr. Juarez is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Mr. Juarez, go ahead and tell me your full name for the record.
Jeffrey Adam Juarez.
Mr. Juarez, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the two indictments that you have this morning, but the rights and duties are all the same. So I'm going to start with the assault, family member, choking, or strangulation. So in cause number ending in 5453, I have the indictment on the screen. That is a third-degree felony, and it is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Institutional Division, for any period from 2 to 10 years confinement. It also carries a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies to this indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
The next indictment, the cause number ending in 3143, that is an aggravated robbery, and that is a first-degree felony, and that is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the Institutional Division, for any period from 5 to 99 years or life, and also a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies to that case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In both of these matters, Mr. Juarez, you have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine all the witnesses against you, and you have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of these cases, when you sign this document that I have on the screen called the court's admonishments, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights. Is that what you intend to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature in cause number ending in 3143 that I'm showing you on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your signature on the cause number ending in 5453 that I'm showing you on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am.
If you were not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Juarez, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hayek, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in the preparation of any defenses?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
In your opinion, is he mentally competent to waive his rights and enter into a plea?
That is my opinion, Your Honor.
And that is your opinion for both cases,
For
correct?
both cases and both competency and understanding.
I will accept the waiver in each of these matters and make it part of the record. Mr. Juarez, on the screen, I have the plea bargain agreement that you made. This is on the robbery case, the aggravated robbery case ending in 3143. The plea bargain calls for 5 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. This will run concurrent with the assault, family, choking, strangulation, cause number 2021 CR 5453. There's also, as part of the conviction, a finding that that a deadly weapon was used in the commission of the crime. You guys forgot to check that mark.
I apologize, Your Honor. That's correct.
Is that your understanding of the agreement in this case, Mr. Juarez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me show you the agreement in the 5453. That is a 5 years TDC agreement, $1,500 fine, no applications for probation, concurrent with the aggravated robbery, an affirmative finding of family violence, and a no contact order with Ariana Dilde. Is that your understanding in that case?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hayek, as to both of those plea bargains, is that your understanding?
That's my understanding. It's a plea bargain in each case, Your Honor.
And Mr. Echeverria, is that your understanding?
It is, Your Honor.
We're going to start with the aggravated robbery. Mr. Juarez, what is your plea to the charge? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea today
No, ma'am.
or offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of guilty in cause number ending 3143. And in cause number ending in 5453, Mr. Juarez, what is your plea? Is it guilty, not guilty? Okay. And are you pleading guilty in this case because you have talked about, because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone force you to enter a plea today, sir?
No, ma'am.
Or offer you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of guilty. I find the plea is voluntarily made, and I will ask the state to tender its proof on both of these matters.
The state offers 6 Exhibit 1 and all attachments on both causes of action, pending any objection from Mr. Hajek.
Your Honor, there's no objection to the state's Exhibit 1 in either case.
I will admit State Exhibit 1. Mr. Hayek, in cause number ending 3143, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
And in cause number ending in 5453, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
In both of those cases, I will sign the discovery acknowledgement and make it part of the record. Give me just 1 minute so that I could read all of the exhibits in this case.
We'll give you 2 minutes since there's 2
Okay, you're so generous. I'll be back. Okay, let's go back on the record, please. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. We're going to start with cause number ending in 3143. I will find you guilty of the offense of aggravated robbery as alleged in the indictment. I will assess punishment at 5 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. You get credit for the time you have been in custody on this case. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 5453. There is an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon in this case. And cause number ending in 5453. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt, and I will find you guilty of the offense of assault, family, choking, strangulation. And I will assess punishment at 5 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. You get credit for the time you have been in custody on this case. There is a $1,500 fine. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 3143. There is an affirmative finding of family violence in this case and a no contact order with Ariana Dilde. In both of these cases, Mr. Juarez, you made a plea bargain. I followed that plea bargain. So what that means is you do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you have no other holes, we will remand you to the custody of the sheriff to transport you to TDC. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hyatt.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. That was 719, by the way.
Did I put 21?
Then you put 16.
Then I put 16?
But keep picking. You only have 28 more to go through.
Valerie,
I
can
appreciate
you
you laughing, Judge. Take care.
You too, take care. Valerie, can you print those on Mr. Juarez so I can correct the date on the trial court cert?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We'll see you guys at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.